Welcome. Today, we're diving into a regulatory comparison focused on expiry dates, retest dates, and best before dates. Led by Dr. S.K. Singh, this talk will clarify what these terms mean, why they matter, and how different regulations approach them. Let's get started. Today, we're diving into why shelf life terminology really matters. These product dating concepts aren't just labels. They're essential for patient safety, protecting consumers, ensuring product quality, and meeting regulations. They also play a big role in managing inventory and optimizing the supply chain. But here's the catch: terms like expiry date, retest date, and best before date often get mixed up. To make things trickier, different industries and regulators don't always agree on what these terms mean. That's the challenge we're tackling. Let's clarify some key regulatory terms around product dates. The expiry date is the cutoff. After this, a product shouldn't be used, consumed, or distributed. Then there's the retest date. This tells us when stored materials need a fresh evaluation to confirm they're still good to use. The best before date is about quality. It shows how long a product is expected to keep its intended attributes when stored properly. The main idea. Expiry focuses on safety and effectiveness, while best before is all about quality. When it comes to global regulation, there are key players we need to keep in mind. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the European Medicines Agency, and the International Council for Harmonization all set important standards. The World Health Organization, along with India's Central Drugs, Standard Control Organization, and Food Safety and Standards Authority, also play crucial roles. Each of these authorities follows specific guidelines, like ICHQ-1A, whose stability guidelines, EU GMP, US FDA stability guidance, and India's Schedule M, that help ensure quality and safety across the board. Let's talk about expiry dates from a regulatory perspective. An expiry date marks the last day a pharmaceutical product is expected to meet all approved quality standards, assuming it's stored as directed. Regulators require this date to be backed by thorough stability studies, both real-time and accelerated. It must appear clearly on the product label and is mandatory for all finished medicines. For example, if a product is made in January 2026 with a 24-month shelf life, its expiry date is January 2028. Importantly, products can't be used past this date. Let's talk about the retest date from a regulatory perspective. This applies to active pharmaceutical ingredients, excipients, raw materials, and intermediates. Basically, the key materials in drug production. The retest date is the point after which the material needs to be tested again to confirm it still meets quality standards before use. Regulators expect that materials can continue to be used after this date, but only if they pass retesting, meet all specifications, and have been stored properly. For example, an API made in January 2026 with a retest date in January 2028 can keep being used if it passes retesting at that time. Let's talk about the best before date from a regulatory standpoint. You'll find this date on foods, nutraceuticals, cosmetics, and consumer healthcare products. It tells us the product will keep its best quality until that date. Things like appearance, taste, texture, aroma, and physical stability. Importantly, the product might still be safe to use after the best before date, but the quality could start to slip. So, it's really about when the product is at its peak, not necessarily when it becomes unsafe. Let's take a closer look at how expiry dates, retesting, and best before dates compare across different industries. In pharmaceuticals, expiry dates are mandatory and directly tied to safety and efficacy. No retesting allowed, and using a product past its expiry is prohibited. For APIs and raw materials, retesting is possible and sometimes required, with a conditional regulatory approach. Meanwhile, food and cosmetics rely mostly on best before dates, which focus less on safety and more on quality, with regulations varying by product type. This table breaks down those key differences clearly. When it comes to regulatory objectives, we're focused on a few key things: determining shelf life, expiry dates, retest periods, and storage conditions. All of this depends on stability studies that support product dating. These studies come in different types, mainly long-term and accelerated stability testing. For example, long-term might be at 25 degrees Celsius with controlled humidity, while accelerated tests push conditions to 40 degrees Celsius to speed up results. The guidelines we follow here come from ICHQ 1A, R2. When we determine shelf life, we rely on a solid scientific foundation. We look at several key parameters: assay, related substances, dissolution, moisture content, microbial limits, and physical appearance. Each one tells us something important about the product's stability over time. In this case, the results show 97.2%, meaning the product stays well within specification. That's a strong indicator of consistent quality throughout its shelf life. Here, we see the final decision on the material's suitability. The test results confirm it remains within specifications. The assay is strong, impurities are low, and moisture levels are well controlled. Because of this, the retest period can be extended, following approved procedures. This case study focuses on a 100-kilogram batch of active pharmaceutical ingredient, reaching its 24-month retest date with results that support continued use. It's a clear example of quality maintained over time. Let's explore some emerging trends in shelf life management that are reshaping the industry. Digital transformation is at the core, with AI-based stability prediction and predictive shelf life modeling leading the way. Electronic stability management systems and real-time monitoring sensors give us up-to-the-minute insights. Digital twins offer a virtual replica for stability assessment. Together, these innovations help reduce study durations, improve forecasting accuracy, and enable smarter inventory management. It's a new era of precision and efficiency. When it comes to regulatory risks and compliance, there are some common pitfalls we need to watch out for. Things like unsupported expiry dates, weak stability data, missing retest procedures, improper labeling, and concerns about data integrity often come up. These issues aren't just theoretical. They're frequently flagged during GMP inspections, regulatory audits, and supplier qualification checks. The way forward is clear. We need a robust stability program paired with strong data integrity controls to stay ahead and keep everything compliant. To wrap up, here are the key references and guidelines that shape our approach. We rely on global authorities like the International Council for Harmonization, the World Health Organization, and the FDA, among others. Industry best practices focus on science-based shelf life assignment, ongoing stability monitoring, and regular product quality reviews. All of this supports a lifecycle management approach to product dating, ensuring safety and quality from start to finish. This framework keeps us aligned with regulatory expectations while driving continuous improvement. Let's wrap up by revisiting the key points. The expiry date marks when a product is no longer considered safe or effective to use. Retest dates mainly apply to active ingredients and raw materials, signaling when they need to be checked again. Best before dates focus on quality, not safety. Stability studies provide the scientific foundation for all these decisions. Regulators expect thorough documentation to back up shelf life claims. And now, emerging AI technologies are reshaping how we predict stability and manage product life cycles. Getting these dates right is crucial for quality, safety, compliance, and smooth supply chains. That brings us to the end. If you need any further support or have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you for your time and attention. It's been a pleasure sharing this with you. This video was created with SlideSpeak. Visit SlideSpeak to turn your presentations into engaging AI-narrated videos.